All right,
Very
cool.
well said.
Oh, great conversation, Mark. So,
Yeah, of
uh,
course.
we've come to the my favorite part of the show, where we get to find out about who Mark Casey is. So tell us about your. I'm interested in not your bio, education, and work and what companies, but I'm always interested in the entrepreneurial journey you had, which is something that started very early age,
Yeah.
childhood. So tell us, where did you grow up? Share with us some of your early experiences.
Yeah, sure. I mean, so I am a New York guy. I grew up in Long Island. Honestly, ever since I was a kid, I was always a hustler. I would, ever since, even when I was like 13 years old, I'd go to restaurants and I would even offer them to design their whole menu for free. And obviously, which restaurants is going to say no, to do that? So I designed their whole menu for free, and they came back, and I would ask them, okay, now that you have it designed, where are you going to get it printed? And they're like, oh, you're right. So I was like, you know what? Let me print it for you, and then I would make my money off the printing, that just kind of grew and grew and grew because other people were talking about it, and this person knew that person, this owner, and that. So then my name kind of even get out there, and as this little 13-year-old kid, like uh, my name got out that I was doing all this design and everything, and I always was just so involved with something of business and just like being hustling, and even though I was just so young, it was always just part of me. So that's something very funny that even from so young, I was able to kind of have a good grasp on.
How, I mean, look, it's one thing. I want to know why you felt that you wanted to hustle. And second, why designing restaurant menus? I mean, where did you get that idea?
Exactly. See, something is so random. Well, I'm a very creative guy. I would say, just like that. That's like who I am. So I don't know. Whenever I was there, I was like, my mind just started thinking out of the box and just different ideas and what I can do. So I was like, you know what? If this was mine, I would make it that way. I was like, let me ask. So I asked the guy. I was like, you should change it. And the guy didn't want to. It was like one of these old fashioned restaurants, and he didn't want to invest money into it, and into anything. So kind of more came the idea is like I'm not going to pay for it, but if I offered it, of course he'll take it. So it honestly started kind of an accident where I'm like, I'll just do this for fun, why not? I ended up doing it for fun, and then the printing thing came along, and yeah, it was totally by accident. It was really just like for fun. There was no thought or anything like so deep behind it why I specifically wanted to go into doing that.
So how old were you when the first time you did this?
13, no jokes. Like I really was sitting behind the computer and like doing things. I had my dad like drive me around everywhere and go to different places and literally go to the printing store and print it out and then come and give it back to them. And yeah, some people didn't take me seriously, but the ones who did were very happy.
So your gig was, I'm gonna design your restaurant menu for free, and you give me the printing job. Was that the case?
Exactly. Yeah.
And the reason why you developed that pitch was because you had this old man who refused to pay for anything, but he was fine to pay for printing if he liked the design, right?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even think about it. It just wasn't even in his thoughts of him even wanting to spend the money. So only afterwards, when I came and I showed her, and he's like, "It's so nice." I'm like, "Okay, now where are you going to go print it?" And he's like, "You're right. I didn't think about that." So then he wanted to go invest money, and also he feel like, "Okay, I just this 13-year-old kid like worked so hard. Like you want to pay him something."
So, how long did you do that?
Maybe 4 years, 3 4 years in the summers or in between breaks and whatever. I did that, and then I started making it more official. Like whenever I was in school, and I went and I got a degree in marketing and branding. Then I just kind of made it more serious. Fast forward a couple of years, I ended up, being. So I always did marketing and branding. I made that my real official thing, and then I got hired to work on their beauty brand to help them with their Amazon when Amazon was new. And I had zero experience in Amazon when I started, and the only thing I knew about Amazon where I ordered products from, but nothing about the seller side. So he kind of trained me in and just really just threw me in and just like, okay, figure it out. So I combined my marketing, my branding ideas together with his, kind of training, quote unquote, with Amazon. And I built up their whole Amazon. And now they're in like, in CVS, Target, Walmart, in big box stores just because they started out very strong on Amazon. So, and then after that, so I'm still very good friends with him even till this day. But so from there, a lot of people were asking, hey, whatever you're doing for them, come do for me also. And I got many offers. So that's kind of the aha moment to open up our agency, House of AMZ, where that's what we do. You know, we take all the experience and knowledge of what we know about marketing and branding and combine that with our Amazon knowledge, and we create beautiful listings.
Yeah. So what I find interesting is really you were branding the guy with his menu, with your design, and that's what
Yeah.
you're doing now. And the most interesting part to me is the reason why you got that idea in the first place was you didn't like his menu. You thought that it could be better, right? As a 13-year-old kid.
Yeah.
So that was the attraction. It's not like, you had an idea, oh, I think I can design menus. It's like you didn't like the guy's menu, and therefore, you decided to make it better, which then led you to now have a branding agency. So what I'm thinking is, if you could travel back in time and then change the circumstances, if the guy had a really good looking menu, then you would have had no career.
That's a very funny way to think about it.
So did you have interest in anything else, or it was just design?
I'm just business. I mean, that's what I did for fun, just anything business related. And then it just happened to be that since I was very creative, I just went into design.
Yeah, I think the deal you made with the guy about, okay, fine, I'll do it for free, but then I'll make money on printing. That's the real genius of it. Obviously, you put your talent to use, but
Yeah.
just that talent. If you got an artist off the street who just like designing, but he didn't have that quick thinking, he will just make the design and give it to him and move on, right?
That's correct. Yeah. So I'm very thankful for that.